Inflation Vacation is back on KFAN. We have 9 chances for you to win $1,000 every weekday. That's every hour from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m., including right now, because the fan and 2 men in a junk truck want to give you a shot to put $1,000 in your hand with our national cash contest. Enter the keyword cash. Hey, that's easy. At KFAN.com now for your shot at winning. That's keyword cash. Enter now at KFAN.com.
Hello, Mr. Alex Stalock. How have you been?
Great. Thanks for having me again.
Yep, no problem.
I'm skateless.
Rumor has it, given you live about 18 minutes from here, you would have been here in 18 minutes, but you stopped for breakfast. You had a nice big fat breakfast, which is sweet. Who'd you have breakfast with?
Solo. I had it with.
Okay.
I had it with.
So you're not between the pipes anymore, getting all the shine, and you've lost friends.
No, I was sitting center console on the drive-in. I was eating my hash browns and sausage and egg sandwich.
Yeah.
Well, McDonald's closed. I was trying to do the sneaky play where you order at 10:27, the breakfast order.
The best.
To pick up.
Yeah.
And it said, unfortunately, this location is no longer serving breakfast. So I tried another one. That one was closed, so I had to detour.
Yeah.
That's why I was here at 11 on the dot.
Not that I'm creeping on your phone, but it's blowing up. Okay, so, I mean, is this now
This is the equipment manager of the Minnesota Wild. I don't know what I did.
Well, that's sweet.
Maybe I parked in a spot.
Okay, well, now that you're on the Ballyhooed FM 100.3, KFAN, Wild Radio Network, all the other sports, I thought maybe it was somebody from the San Jose Sharks Radio Network worried that maybe you're going to segue here to KFAN, and they're like offering you some grandiose deal to become the full-time analyst for Sharks hockey.
We'll see. No, the 3 games under my belt. It felt good.
You've done 3?
A lot of learning. Yes, I did 3. I got 3 more in January.
So you lied to me texting yesterday.
I told you I did. I already did 3. My next 3, I got vocal maintenance. They want me to take a long break, and I come back in January, 4th, 7th,
just to keep it fresh.
But my phone's blown up because that was brought down in your back pocket to the bathroom.
Okay.
So I don't know what took place in there. My phone was brought in your back pocket down to the bathroom moments ago.
All right.
It came back up. Now it's blowing up.
All right, 3-2. When I was covertly texting you yesterday to figure out how many games you've called for the vast and ever-expanding San Jose Sharks Radio Network, and you responded with not doing one till January, all you wanted to text was vocal maintenance days, okay, which is because
you wanted to play into the bit.
Yeah, because you're bit raised, and we love you for that. But maybe I misread it. But what we were trying to do here is we were trying, through Nordo and Fallness, we were trying to find some sneaky sound from the Sharks Radio Network. But I thought you only had done that Dallas game. It was Dallas, right? Like October 12th?
Dallas, Chicago, Winnipeg.
Oh.
So it says here, I'm not back on the highly touted Sharks Radio Network until January.
Okay.
Not back.
Okay, why don't you want to read the next couple? Okay, when I asked you how many have you done?
Done after at Dallas. Okay, yeah.
See, so you
and I said no.
You're so smart,
right, you're right,
bro.
You're
You're so crafty. You sniffed out what I was trying to do, didn't you?
Yeah, right.
You sucker.
No, I
really?
wasn't. I had one bad interview. I was thrown right into the fire. I did an interview a guy in Chicago.
Oh,
Ruzanowski was busy. He tapped me on the shoulder. Gave me the tap on the shoulder.
Who's Ruzanowski?
He's a play-by-play announcer.
Oh, he's the box
been
for
there
the Sharks.
Since day one.
Oh,
yeah,
geez.
Dan's been there since day one.
Oh, Dan Ruzanowski. I know that is. Yes.
Yeah. So,
and they have him. He's their version of Fallness.
He does it all.
Joe
it's
O'Donnell.
It's incredible.
Wow.
All the editing, all the interviews that he does in the morning.
Look out.
He does it in the
Just
afternoon.
kidding.
He does it in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And
is he running concessions over there too? Then there's just
he does run to the up to the main level and grab snacks for me throughout the game. But I did get thrown into an interview in Chicago, and that came quick, and I wasn't prepared. But I got really lucky because at the time it was William Eklund. They showed him underneath. He was coming back from injury, and I noticed he's got huge legs, and I brought that up in the interview. That was the first thing I said to him. I was like, God dang it, is that really what I just said? I said, what do you do in the summer for workouts? You got big legs, William.
Wait, but see, this is I need to decipher this because this is new to you. You're naturally gifted. You have the proverbial gift of gab. However, an interview is a different thing than analyzing like Dan talks. 3-2 stars with 16-12 to go in the second period. Then he puts his hand out. You come and you come out and talk a little bit. That's different than, hey, I need you to do the Matthias Eklund interview. In 4 minutes. That's different, man. You got put in a bad spot.
It takes prep. No, it's. I think it's a good way to learn though. Holy cow, you got to go quick and be ready and come up with something. And as you're asking that first question, you got to be thinking the second question. You're not listening to the response. And
but
I did okay. And then I gave him a tap on the leg after question 3, and I said, I got to go get a hot dog. I'm out of here.
Were you solo or with Rusanowski?
Well, with Dan, but he was right.
Oh, it was during the game.
Yeah, it was right at the end of the period.
Oh,
we went down to the locker room.
One of those.
Yeah, and then I got saved.
Okay.
I got saved in Winnipeg because, unfortunately, they were down big in the second period. And usually we go down to the locker room. The second and third, they were down big. So we're going to stay out of the locker room this game. I said, that's probably best. I don't know what I could possibly ask.
Well,
at this
typically
point.
there's a PR person that'll be with the player
Bingo.
that kind of makes eye contact with you, and they'll give you the one more, or they'll tap the watch like let's roll, let's wrap this thing up. You actually tapped the player. You tapped yourself out of an interview.
I tapped Russo. I said, it's time. You got to take us to break.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know exactly how to take it to break.
But
yet
see, you're going to do this at a high level for a long time, whether it's on TNT, ESPN, TSN, whatever it's going to be. So moments like this matter. So just like as a point of reference, that when you get hit with something like this, then the first thing you do, you don't have to tell anybody, first thing you do is you text the sickman with the Sharks.
Yeah.
Slide me too.
This was seconds.
Was it really?
Dan was in the books and said, "You go." I can't.
Well, that
was boom. I had to go.
Well, his name for the next game you're together is Luzaninski because that L that he put on you needs to be on him. He put an L on you.
It wasn't terrible.
Hey,
it was.
You said it was terrible. We weren't going to play it back.
You could be exposed. Well, you know what's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to ask a bad question.
Yeah, but I mean, for future reference, if you get hit with that and you got some questions, okay, forget the hit the sickman for the Sharks. That would be preferred. But if it's that soon, then it's you could just do it like this: 3-2. How you think the period went? Oh wait, what was the score? Do you remember the score at the end of the period?
Chicago was close, 3-2 maybe.
Okay, so tight game.
3-2.
Okay, so Matthias or Matthias?
Eklund.
Matthias or
No,
Matthias?
William.
Oh,
You're
William.
thinking of
I'm thinking of
Ekholm.
Oh, my bad. Yes, William. So William, tightly contested game. How do you think it went?
Right.
Okay, wait for him. What do you think you guys can do better next period to win the game?
Ooh.
Boom. And then finally, he's with the Sharks,
then you bring
right?
up the legs.
He's with the Sharks, right?
You don't lead with the legs.
Before
he's
the
with
legs. So is it true that you think Celebrini was jaking it before he came back?
And then I'll get the tap or the
And then
look
the
from
legs.
Dan as whoa.
Hey, I think the legs, that's a great bit. I remember in 2016 when we had Daniil Hunter on the exclusive Wilf Perch at training camp in Mankato.
Yeah.
And PA, you know what he did? He hit him with, oh, your arms are looking a lot bigger this year.
It's unbelievable.
You've been doing something in the offseason. Your arms and shoulders are looking big.
Now, those are strange questions, especially when they come from the cartoon character, me. But you're everybody, William, Eklund, whomever, Celebrini, Jumbo Joe, no matter with whom you're chatting, they all know who you are and what you did. So you're going to get a little bit of leash there, you know?
Right, and I think that's the important part. And hey, if you screw up, if you fail a little bit, it's fun to laugh too. During intermissions for some those guys are so serious.
Well, you're KFAN raised, so therefore, if you make a mistake, you turn it into a bit, laugh it off, and move on.
Have you had any Bursic moments yet?
I had a almost goal call. Well, the thing about radio is you don't know if it's live or not, right?
Well, define a Bursic moment.
Well, just where he...
Oh, I know what you mean.
He gets really excited.
Oh, my God.
Oh, come on!
Yeah, last game, it was unbelievable.
When you're in it, you're excited, and the player comes out, and then there's a freak out at some point.
Yep.
Have you had any of those moments in the midst of the stream and the race where it's just like you can't help yourself?
I had one in Winnipeg because Dan writes down every stat, and San Jose scored. And he had his head.
You make it sound like it's novel they scored. Hey, we scored.
No, it wasn't that way. We happened to score again. And Dan
the squad's 5-9-3. I'm sorry. I didn't know what the San Jose Sharks record was. Go ahead.
The team's taking some vocal maintenance right now.
So we scored. Dan was in the books writing a penalty down. The Sharks must have been on the power play. And we scored, Sharks, and Dan was like 10 seconds behind and called it. He had no idea who scored, but called it as it was live. It was pretty cool to see how radio, you got to call it 10 seconds late. No one listening knows what's actually going on. They're not watching the game. And so that kind of clicked with me, like, hey, you got time to take a breath.
2, 3,
What's up,
4,
bruh?
The squad lost the first 9 games of the year, right?
Yeah, that's not an ideal start.
Oh,
most years.
jeez.
Wasn't there a bit? Was it 2015 PA where there were some technical difficulties at Oco because of a disastrous stadium that it was, and you called something that was off air, right? It was a Cordero kick return, maybe.
No, it never. Yeah, it. So for whatever the reason, the vast and ever expanding KFAN Vikings radio network, to start the second half, we went down. We weren't on the air. Well, of course, that's during a Cordero Patterson kick return touchdown to start the second half. Didn't recreate the call. What you're thinking of is after the game, right when I walked into the locker room, special teams coordinator Mike Prefer walks up to me, and first thing he says is, "What'd you say during the call? How was the call?" And I'm like, "Oh, damn. There was no call." And, to watch his face fall,
right.
It's
because I know the players love that, and I know coaches over the course of time. That Prefer obviously an example, but they love hearing the big moment calls like that. It's super cool,
right? Especially when it's for their group and it works out well and they win the game. Let's pause so we don't get behind. Alex Stalock, former Wild and NHL goalie, vast and ever improving analyst for the Sharks Radio Network. He's with us here at Tria Rink for a Vox in the Box. Nordo produces, and Maxwell Fuller back at KFAN as the cash thing.
I actually did the cash thing coming out of break, so good morning.
Yep, and good morning, 3-2. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Tria Rink for Vox in the Box with the Montreal Canadiens in town this evening to contest our Minnesota Wild. Alex Stalock is our guester in the final hour. And while he kibitzes, we can just thank everybody here for having us out, because this is only the second one we've done this year. We did the home opener against Columbus.
Yeah.
Then generally we chill on Vox in the Box until the Viking season is done. But the squad bit us, because we wanted to be here. This was kind of a hastily arranged Vox in the Box, Paulie on the perch. They graciously had us, and the show's gone fast. It's been a lot of fun chatting with Tom Reed and Russo Radio and KG. John Hines started it. If you want to podcast that, man, we just love being out here.
No, we absolutely do, and I would actually say, and we had talked about this coming in. It's going to be different. They kind of shut down the hole in the glass bit for our shows at the X specifically.
Oh, hey!
But then they got us showing up here in the perch. What's it going to be like? It's super easy to set up.
Yeah.
The guests are here. The guests are awesome, and I would actually go so far to say, in the same vein that the team, they themselves have chosen to do their practices here because it's a better facility.
All right.
I think from the standpoint of doing radio, it's actually kind of stepped up our game in this way as well.
What you doing over here?
Hey, we're bringing you some coffee.
Yeah.
We got a new concept at the arena called the Twisted Bean. You can do spiked coffees, hot chocolate.
Wow.
Delicious lattes. As good as any coffee joint you like.
Wait,
yourself.
so executive chefs prepare lattes also?
Also, but mostly just for you.
Okay, or was that a Matt production? Your name's Matt, right?
Yes. Matt, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Matt.
Did make Matt Rawson, yeah. And
Matt
I did
Rawson.
make these lattes. Got 2 vanilla and
really?
2 regular lattes.
Which ones are the vanilla?
These two are the vanilla. These 2 are the regular. I made them extra hot for you guys.
Damn. So are you saying, so is this in a roundabout way, Kyle, who we've known forever, or Matt, our new friend, are you saying in a roundabout way, because the 3-chinned announcer is plus 10 pounds, and the producer's Big Daddy Khan
would never,
that you're not going to bring food like you're doing us a favor?
I mean, it's baby fat.
No, sir, these are still filled with calories.
Oh,
no
okay.
Yeah,
then I'll take 2.
Full milk, yeah.
Okay, so where you sell these tonight?
It's at the Twisted Bean. It's on the glass wall on the main level.
Beautiful. Appreciate you, man.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Good seeing you, bud.
Thank you very much. Good to see you, too.
Yep, you too. See ya. All right, Mr. Alex Stalock, whenever you're ready. You're not a big latte guy, are you?
No.
You want one for the drive home?
I'll try one, absolutely. And it's I know everyone. I'm just kind of a straight black homie when it comes to coffee, but no,
Same.
I'm not against.
What's happening behind us?
I don't know what's happening behind us right now, but it's good to see Alex Stalock back in the mix.
Yeah, what's up?
I was getting coaching help.
Analyst
From who?
Sharks Radio
Andy
Network.
Oh, what's going on, brother? Paul Allen. Good to see you. Pleasure.
Your cousin.
Who, Jamie Ness?
Jeremy.
Oh.
Helps coach the highly touted B1 Black squirt team in Stillwater.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
Does this team compete with Simon, or is Simon on that
Simon
team?
Competes with that.
Wow.
That team.
What grade Simon in?
Fourth.
So he's about ready to be one of those that we hear about in 6th grade. They're skating with like Edina Varsity or something like that.
No.
That ain't it.
That ain't it.
Okay.
Won't be Shattuck St. Mary's. It won't be any sort of path in that direction.
Yeah.
Let's not cut Simon short quite yet.
No, we're not at all.
I've seen my man on the ice before at Vox in the Box a million times, but I've never seen him in like full garb or like normal clothes.
Yeah.
I thought it was like an ESPN box. I thought it was like Brendan.
Dan Rusnowski?
Or Brendan Burke was up here and you guys were talking about the game or something, and I'm like, damn, look, the Vox came up here. Pretty cool. All right, 3-2.
Yeah, so you've done your games now with the Sharks, but you've had an opportunity to watch your Minnesota Wild through 15, Mr. Stalock. What have you seen that excites you about a team that handled a nasty road schedule to start?
Yeah.
Come out alive. They're 10-2-3. The goaltending's been better, but Kaprizov's scoring points galore every night. What do you love about the team?
And moments like this are important because you clearly sense Tom Reed is near the end, so you're trying to slide into work next to Joe.
I noticed you gave him a side eye as you passed in the hallway.
You need to properly handle moments like this better than Eklund.
Oh, Tom takes care of me really well. When we happen to stop there before Wild games with my son, he'll take care of us at Tom Reed's. But what I love about this team is how much fun they're having. And that's the reason you come to the rink every day. And when you're winning hockey, it goes hand in hand, having fun and winning games. But you can see they're competing hard together. It's a group that wants to win for each other, and they're winning different ways. And obviously you look at their last outing, they go from which is weird. You don't play all 3 California teams. You play a back-to-back out west. Then you fly to the Midwest. You lose 2 hours. You get into the Chicago traffic. It's just a long day of travel. And then you have to wake up and play the Hawks. And I've seen it a million times.
Don't forget about those time zones.
Yeah, the time zones, 2 time zones. But the worst part is you land in Chicago and you still have 2 hours before you're in your hotel room.
Yeah.
It's just
Let's pause for 1 second. Hold on. The young lady against the wall over there, very athletically gifted. I don't know if this is like a leading scorer for the PWHL. I don't know what it is, but I mean, this workout routine that she's doing over there, holy cow, when's the last time you worked out like that? For me, it'd be about 42 years.
It's going to be about 9 days. I have to play an alumni game out in California, and I don't know if my hips will be able to swing like that.
Well, see, that's the thing. I'm trying to think. I bet you it's been a decade since my hip wouldn't click if I did that. I could physically do that.
Yeah, mine does that too.
I get the hip click.
Yeah, mine does that too. All right, 3-2. Back to the lesson at hand.
You're loving them. You're having fun.
They're having fun. Yes, it's and I mean, obviously in the crease, it's been unbelievable. Gus is obviously playing at the top of his game again.
So do we give Gus all the credit for that? How do you look at that as a netminder? Because whether it's your top 4 playing in front of him, Gus is going to get all the blame. Maybe from a year ago when things weren't going so smoothly, but right now he's on fire, man, and he's getting almost all the games. PA was mentioning it earlier. You're trying to figure out what kind of a split. The last time you were here, you had Jesper Wallstedt in the mix. How are they going to handle 3 goalies on the roster, etc.? But 11 of the 15 have gone the way of Gus Bus. He's going to go tonight, and he's taking advantage of all those reps.
Yeah, I think you always have a plan in the coach's office or the front office, a plan at the beginning of the year. Here's how we're going to come out and start the year. Gus is going to play X games. Flowers is going to play X games through the first 10, but that's going to change. A guy gets hot. Like, how do you take a guy out and ride a guy, right? When he's winning games and the team's playing well in front of him, there's no reason to switch it up. Yeah, you go through back-to-backs where you're going to have to make a change and rest the guy, but the way they're playing right now, everybody wants to speculate, what's going on here? Why is he not playing here? Why is he playing again? It's just the way it goes, and obviously they're going to deter from their plan if they need to, and maybe they have. I don't know. And the blueprint now, Wallstedt is down in the American League getting games, which is great for him. Other than just staying in practices, he's getting game time, and the AHL is obviously a great league, and it's good for him to get games and travel and play back-to-back nights down there. And there's a ton of skill in that league. First-round picks that are a year or 2 away from being stars in this league.
So you called a Sharks-Winnipeg game, you said, right?
Yep.
All right, so Winnipeg, only team in the history of the NHL to win 15 of the first 16. You're an elite goaltending mind. I mean, Hellebuck's always been good. Is he like otherworldly this year?
Well, maybe would he do something in the offseason that's going to put him up? Maybe did some type of training, made a minor adjustment, because obviously you look back to last year, they lost the playoff series to Colorado.
Yeah.
He came out to the media and said he felt he played unbelievable, but his numbers in that series were not good at all. And maybe he came back this year and kind of wanted, stick it to the writers, the media that thought he was poor. But that's not just Connor Hellebuck winning 15 of the first 16. You watch their games. I watched them the other night against New York. They're playing a full team game. Their defensive game's sound, and they still have unbelievable scores. They're putting Kyle Connor.
Am I dumb
in
for
the
not
LA
knowing?
trade? They pick up Velarde, Iafallo. They pick up key pieces in that.
Niederreiter.
Nino came.
He was there last year, right?
Yeah, but he came from Nashville. But you look at that LA trade, they moved Dubois out of Winnipeg, who he didn't want to be there as soon as he got there. They move him out. They get 3 or 4 key pieces back to Winnipeg, and they're all contributing now. And Dubois is not even in LA anymore. He's out in Washington.
Where did Kyle Connor come from? When I was just kind of looking up, and you mentioned, I think he's got 11 or 12 goals so far this season, so he's been on fire. Scheifele is playing as good as he's ever played. I must be the idiot in the room. I had no idea who Kyle Connor was until I started to pay attention to Winnipeg within the last week.
Yeah,
I think he kills the Wild.
University of Michigan. I don't know if he was there for a year or two, but I think he was a Hobie finalist. I don't think he won the Hobie. I actually think he lost it to Jimmy Vesey the year he was up, who's playing in New York.
Who's Jimmy Vesey?
Exactly.
Is he good?
I played at Harvard, but he had a great college career. Fully hasn't probably turned into the scorer that he wanted to be in the NHL, but I think he lost. He played 1 or 2 years at Michigan, and maybe just one. And ended up being a runner-up for the Hobie Baker Award, but obviously his game's translated to the NHL. You look at guys that score 40 goals every year, and I feel like Kyle Connor's on that list. He's 30 every year, if not hitting the 40 mark.
Is it? It's Ehlers. Nicholas Ehlers?
Matthias or Matthias?
Yeah, no, it's William Matthias Nicholas Ehlers. He's always been good. Morrissey's still with them. I see that. Look at Nino. Look at Nino with 7 goals. Damn, Connor has 11 goals. Scheifele and Ehlers each 9.
I like just saying Neil Pionk.
Yeah,
Pionk.
Yeah, Niederreiter's tough, man. He's just always been tough and scrappy, hasn't he?
Yeah, he goes to the net. He's always around the net. He's big, he's strong, he's tough. He's played a lot of years in the league, and he knows where to go to score goals. He's realized what it takes for him to be successful. You're not going to score from the outside in this league. You got to get in front of the net, and when he decides to go in front of the net and take a beating, the puck's gonna either hit him, hit a stick, and find a way to the back of the net.
Hang out for this final segment coming up in a few minutes, all right? Alex Stalock, Nordo with yours truly, Paul Allen, from Trier Rink, closing up Box in the Box after this. You watching much of the Minnesota Vikings, Mr. Alex Stalock?
Yes, as much as I can.
7-2, though.
I know it's obviously coming into the year, no one knew what to expect, but again, it's another team like the Wild. They're finding ways to win. 12-7 in Jacksonville. I caught the tail end of that. I had a hockey practice with the young crew, and then came home and watched the final. But the last 2 games have been weird. You get texts during the game like, is this team real? Are they really this good? And even the Indianapolis game, I just felt like as soon as they punched one in, the game was going to turn. And similar to the last game, I got home and I watched it. I was like, there's no way Jacksonville's going to drive this field and score.
Right.
You just feel comfortable. It doesn't look clean. It doesn't feel pure. But the you watch it, the D's been so good, and it's crazy how big of a difference Cashman makes. And does he make that big of a difference?
Yes.
I don't know, but you watch the game.
No, he does.
Holy cow!
Well, he makes Ivan Pace better, and then Andrew Van Ginkel can play in his spot. You got Metellus moving around.
There we go.
There's something about him just really being the platform behind all that. You ever get in spots where, and it's such a different game, but I'm thinking about it as a Vikings fan. I never really felt they were losing, but I had to balance the idea of a win as a win versus kind of being disappointed in that ultimately what I saw as part of that victory. You ever head back to the dressing room after a game, even in a win, and it's like, what the hell was that? How is that possible that XYZ, things that we don't do on a regular basis, all collapse on our heads in the midst of this thing? Yeah, we got the win, but you're kind of pissed about it at the same time.
Yeah, 100%. You as a goalie, you always want to make the last save, right? It's kind of your goal. Hey, make the last save. You got a good chance of winning the game. And you come into the locker room and you win, a 7-6 game. You're like, wow, I just gave up a touchdown.
Yeah.
But we still won. And that's just in the crease. As a forward group, you ask Kirill or Zuki or any of those guys, they get a 5-on-3 or maybe 2 5-on-3s in a game and they don't score, but yet they still win the game, they're going to be happy they won the game, obviously. Yeah. They're going to go back and look at tape and be upset, like, how do we not score 5-on-3 there? We just threw away 2 chances to score and put the game away versus dragging it into the third period, letting a not-so-great, say it be Chicago team hang around, and all of a sudden you take it to OT and then they lose the game. You throw away a chance here in the game, similar to maybe you get in the red zone, you throw a pick or something. You look back, you still won the game, you're frustrated because you could put the game away, especially the Colts game. That could have been a lot worse early. But
you feel good about the Titans this weekend, though, right? Walk in there, head down to Nashville.
Just get the dub.
Drink a boot to your favorite locker.
Broadway, though. I love that city.
It's not bad. It's not bad. Get the W.
It's
and
just
move
so
on.
busy now.
Sweep the AFC South. I think everyone knows now how cool Broadway is.
And it's almost
there's too much.
Too much now.
Yeah, it's not as
so
fun
busy.
as it was 15 years ago.
Outside of calling the game, being part of the game, that'd be one for me. 1A is going to one of these karaoke bars.
Oh yeah,
with Chris Hockey. Okay?
Yes.
We did this in the preseason a few years ago because they take their singing so seriously in Nashville, and why wouldn't they? Grand Ole Opry, though. And then you see these people singing up on the stage who are good. Okay? They're good, and they bring people with them. And then our guy comes up and sings Don't Stop Believin' or Open Arms by Journey.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable how he tore this bar down with his singing skills. We're going to do that again.
Well, that's where I've become old guy, is I just don't want to be shoulder to shoulder everywhere. But you go to those places, you got a punk cover band up top, you got a country music bit, you got a
You're
pop,
so right.
You got a pop artist, 3 floors, 3 genres, 3 vibes, and there's 30 of those things on Broadway. I'm just old
right
now.
here.
Middle school, high school, college music, floor by floor by floor.
My man, great seeing you here. Let's do this more often, okay?
Sounds good.
Great job. Alex Stalock for Nordo and Max Fuller. I'm Paul Allen. Buffalo Wild Wings Crystal tomorrow for the Friday football feast. See y'all there. I'm Paul Allen. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thanks for listening to 9 to noon. The program is next.
Podcast today's Paul Allen Show, or listen back to previous show and interviews by going to the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.